Michael McDowell got the free pass in the 81.
Back to the point I was making with the 33 is that, you know, how does it affect the car? And then the other thing is, if they do make another stop, how much will it slow down their pit stop having to pull that back out?
Well, it's not going to make it any quicker, that's for sure. So, and anytime you got a bent fender and it's not good, Rick, he just might have to deal with this thing, because I was looking at his lap speeds and he was awful close to the leader, Kyle Busch. So it didn't appear to be hurting him that much.
There's the 81 McDowell going around on the drive around. This is a unique racetrack because it's so small. The haulers are all outside the track, so you have to work on your car inside in the infield. Well, that creates some challenges, and more on that. Let's go to the Craftsman Tech Garage with Tim Brewer.
Here at ORP, we don't have the luxury of bringing our transporters inside the racetrack. So we've got to have the guys bring every part and piece we might need to put behind the wall, because if we crash the race car, it doesn't matter if it's an upper control arm, brake caliper, any suspension component, rear trailing arms. We have to be ready to put our car back together to enable us to get back in the race to get more points.
Well, we saw some teams dealing with that right out of the gate. Matt DiBenedetto, Jason Leffler both took pretty big hits on that stack 'em up at the green flag tonight. But anytime your truck is parked outside and you're wanting to work on the car inside, that's going to create some issues. Don't forget tomorrow, the NASCAR Sprint Cup Series just up the road at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway. It's the Brickyard 400 presented by Golden Corral. Tomorrow, 1 o'clock Eastern, countdown at 12 noon Eastern time. The Mopar Mile High NHRA Nationals, the finals tomorrow night, 7 o'clock on ESPN2. And NASCAR Nationwide Series action at Iowa 1 week from tonight. Saturday night, 7 o'clock Eastern on ESPN2. Boy, they put on a good show here at O'Reilly Raceway Park, and they put on a good show at Iowa, too. That's a can't miss. Well, we're getting ready for this restart here. The pace car is off. The 60 and the 22, by the way, starting next to one another on this restart, 3 rows back.
Really being tested tonight, aren't they?
Seems like it always happens that way. The guy you've been roughing up is side by side with you now. Now you got to deal with him.
Kyle Busch on the restart likes that high line. He's chosen the outside each time, and it's worked for him again as he takes the lead down in through 1 and 2 and along the backstretch. Stacking up behind him. Hornaday on the outside, Trevor Bayne on his quarter panel, and there's Keselowski and Almirola, Carl Edwards, all in that mix.
And these guys on restarts, they strike like rattlesnakes. They just jump on each other while they're getting as good on the tires, and then all of a sudden that tire wears a little bit, and they line back up. These restarts have been unbelievable.
That's a great point. Your best opportunity is on cool tires. So, Rusty, to your point, when they get hotter, they lose grip.
Keep an eye on this. Something's got to give. You see Braun on the outside, Colin Brown and Ricky Stenhouse Jr. on the inside. Those are teammates. Mike Bliss trying to get in the mix as well in the 40.
I thought Mike Bliss was going to pit road.
He was way down below the yellow line, and there's the 7 car of Josh Wise and the 15 of Michael Annett. Watch the 6.
Whoa!
Right into the 32. Sorensen will remember that one.
So Reed had a handful on that one. Let's take another look at this. Ooh, look at Brad Keselowski. He gets loose and it roughs up Trevor Bayne, but hey, that was innocent. That's what happens when you lose that downforce. You just get sideways. That's short track racing.
Bayne kept him from getting into the wall there. He was the buffer. Nothing has changed up front. It's Kyle Busch, and he has stretched it out to almost a second over Ron Hornaday. Brendan Gaughan starting to charge his way up through the field. He's now running in 6th, started 21st. He's picked up 15 spots, Rusty.
We've been watching Gaughan. His car is getting better as the night goes on, and we all know that Brendan loves working the top side of that racetrack. This type of track favors his driving style, and he's got that South Point Casino car handling very good right now.
Kyle Busch leads, Hornaday in 2nd, Brad Keselowski 3rd, Eric Almirola is 4th. So 3 of the top 4 guys were in the truck race last night. Coincidence?
Well, that hasn't hurt him. Anytime you get more experience on a track, Vince, I got to believe that's good, especially if you had a short track, a night race, and you're on the same tire. It's got to help.
I say a lot transfers between the trucks and the Nationwide cars, too.
Particularly when you have a winning setup, right? So that you have the confidence to take that package and transfer it to this car. And it benefited them in practice. qualified reasonable, and they're contending for the win. That's Ron Hornaday.
The 99 of Trevor Bayne and the 12 of Justin Allgaier. They're going wheel to wheel, bumper to bumper for 7th.
Vince, I'll tell you, Trevor has really shown some incredible patience tonight. He has been beat and banged and slid and knocked all around the racetrack, and he just keeps on going straight. Looks like he hasn't overheated inside the car, at least inside that helmet he hasn't. Doing a good job. I've said it 4 or 5 times tonight, but how much can he take?
Allgaier's already won at a short track this year. He won at Bristol, his lone nationwide series victory. He hasn't shown tonight that he's got a car capable of winning yet, but when you start moving your way up into the top 5, we've still got 47 laps to go. There's time, because especially if we get another restart, which is likely, as close as everybody's running, we get another caution. Never know what might happen.
When you see a driver dive to the bottom like Allgaier did, he's looking for front grip. He's looking for something that he didn't have the lap before.
Trevor Bayne was our pole winner. He's led 55 laps tonight, but right now he's trying to hold up Allgaier for 7th. Back at O'Reilly Raceway Park, where Ron Hornaday has just had an incident. You see the 31 and also the 33 has been involved in that. Heavy damage on the right side. So the 31 of J.C. Stout, the 33 of Ron Hornaday. We'll see if those two were related, the contact, because that is a big blow to Hornaday. He had been running 2nd.
Yeah, I don't know if he's blew a right front tire yet. We'll take a look in a little bit and try to find out. But, you know, we do know he had a lot of right front tire damage, or fender damage. It was laying very close to the right front tire. That could have been the problem. We'll have to wait and see. But that car is tore up big time, Ricky.
Track bar is dragging, so they're going behind the wall, obviously.
That's too bad. Great run.
Take a look at the replay as you see him working on J.C. Stout to get him out of the car. On the onboard with Ron Hornaday.
Oh, here the tire go. Oh, a sick feeling. Blew a right front tire going into turn 3. Obviously, that right front fender was tearing that tire up, and it finally bit him.
He'd had a little contact with Trevor Bayne on that right front several laps ago, and Rusty, you speculated maybe that could be something that eventually would cause a problem, and it looks like that's been the case.
Well, Vince, I didn't see any smoke coming off that right front tire to indicate to me that it was going to have a problem, but obviously it did.
David Starr is going to get the free pass, but the pit's closed for the moment while they tend to the 31 of J.C. Stout. Hornaday was able to drive his car back on pit lane and back behind the wall.
Even though it wasn't rubbing, it still has an effect on the balance of the car. So if he picks up a tight condition, it's only going to get exaggerated and get worse, particularly the longer we run green.
There's that 05 of David Starr rolling around for the free pass, the lucky dog. You know, we had 1 caution in the first 120 laps. Since then, what we've had, I think 4 cautions since then.
David Starr is a lucky dog. I mean, to blow that left rear tire off that car, spin out, hit the wall, get it back on, get back on the track, and get the lucky dog. That's a lucky dog.
I'd say he's lucky. And he's used his mulligan.
37 laps remaining. I want to remind you to go to Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program. There you can send a thank you message from a NASCAR driver, enter for a chance to win a 2011 Ford Taurus, and other great prizes, and much more. Goodyear.com to check out Goodyear's Support Our Troops program. Now there's Ron Hornaday, and tell you what, he had a full night's work, and that's for sure, but he had a pretty good race car prior to that incident that has ended his evening. Won the truck race last night and was running 2nd when he went to the wall here.
Did a good job for Kevin Harvick tonight. A great job. Vince, another thing I'm noticing, I'm looking out right now, guys, I see a lot of guys standing on pit wall, these pit crews getting ready. I mean, a lot of times they just get up there to fake their component or their teammates out. The guys pitted around them, the other teams. But some of these guys look real serious. They got a lot of tires in their hands. So we got 36 laps to go. Ricky, what's going to happen?
Boy, track position for me. And it'd be hard for me to give up the lead here.